How could we trade this sparkling world with a paradise that we cannot see and imagine? Does hell really exist? We always ask, wondering what all this means. Is this life solely for career, discovery, innovations? Is the purpose of humans only to advance civilization and end up death? Is God really exist, or did all of this only start from nothingness and goes to nothingness? Before we describe the hereafter, we must first believe in the existence of God. Most of the atheists who believe in the absence of God reason simply because God cannot be described by science. They think all of this started from the explosion called Big Bang. But we Muslims believe in someone who created Big Bang itself. Scientists reject God simply because it can be explained by science. But I assume they reject God because their ego doesn't want to acknowledge that science cannot conquer God. If something that science really can't conquer means they didn't exist in the first place? Or do they choose to make a conclusion that God doesn't exist because of their powerlessness to reveal existence of God? Many modern people reject the existence of spirits or supernatural, but do they really not exist? In fact, there are so many strange events in this world as proof existence of all of them. When they cannot conquer with knowledge, the easiest way is to pretend it doesn't exist at all. If only the scientists put the ego aside, they could understand for sure that all of this in this universe and its content are too complex to be able to happen just like that. There must be an entity who's almighty behind all of this that science cannot describe. Yeah, God is dead. Now that we believe in the existence of God, let's discuss the existence of life after death. Some of we humans refuse to believe it. Here is where the real test lies. The essence and meanings of a real life. Life is a test for species called humans, and they design it in such a way as to appear to be the test itself does not exist. Oh yeah, don't forget that the creator of this test is the Almighty. It was only natural that this test was God level. First of all, examinees themselves are not aware that they are participants and the exam is being going on. Second, prizes for participants who pass the test are made as if it were just a myth. 3. Obstacle is made very real as well very tempting. Examinees are human beings. The test is life, the gift is absolute happiness in the hereafter, and its hindrance is the sparking life of the world. Humans are given to provision to face this test, namely lust and sense. If they use their mind and follow the direction of God's signs and succeed in solving the exam questions, the participants will pass. What makes this exam difficult is the difference in dimension between examiners, participants, the location of the prize. The only way to prove all of this is by entering the dimension we call the hereafter, where the two gods creator of heaven and hell reside, and must go through death. For some, this is a little hard to accept. Let's take a little analogy. In order to more easily understand the meaning of life in Islam, if you compare every baby who will be born as a test taker and life is the test paper, then when a piece of test paper called life is distributed to the examinees and the baby is born carrying the white paper, and that's when the exam started. Until the paper is completely filled and the exam time ends, this final time is called death. Whatever we write on the white paper that we carried will be judged by God, the test giver. If we pass, then life in the palace in heaven will be waiting for us. If we don't pass, hell is the place for disbeliever. These kind of concepts are too perfect to be shaped by humans. Starting from the beginning of human creation, the evidence of civilization, and the calls of the prophet who preached the same things regardless of the difference in times of each prophet themselves. They all calling for the life of the hereafter. as well as written evidence from religious books in the world, for some of which still remain unchanged even though thousands of years have passed, then the real death that we can see every day anywhere in the world. Where are we going after death? Where else? Do we disappear after death? Such an answer is too simple for this life and creation, which is very complex. Or does hereafter indeed exist?